this lecture I am going to discuss benzylation reaction of amines or phenols, that is called Schotten-Baumann reaction. Before discussing the benzylation of phenols or amines, we will discuss the carboxylic acid derivatives. What is the reactivity order of these carboxylic acid derivatives towards nucleophiles or toward a nucleophilic attack? Okay, actually, as I have discussed the acetylation reaction into the previous class, acetylation reaction and benzylation reaction comes under the same class of reaction, that is the nucleophilic substitution reactions of carboxylic acid derivatives. So before going to this benzylation reaction, we must discuss the reactivity order of these carboxylic acid and their derivatives towards nucleophiles. Okay, so suppose we have a carboxylic acids and their derivatives are like amides, esters, anhydrides and acid chlorides. So these are the carboxylic acid and their derivatives. Now suppose we want to discuss the nucleophilic reactivity of these carboxylic acids and their derivatives. So first of all, the case comes the carboxylate ion itself. So it does not give the nucleophilic substitution reaction because it is very less reactive towards nucleophilic attack, though it has no leaving group at all, so this neither carboxylic ion into the reaction group. Okay, so carboxylic acid itself does not give any nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now, what is the reactivity of this amide and these derivatives? Into the previous lecture, I already told you that the reactivity of this carbonyl carbon towards the nucleophilic attack, of the nucleophile, this carboxylic carbon depends on two factors. First factor is the dipole, electrical dipole, which is produced over here, that is the positive charge. That is the positive charge, that is the electropositive character of that particular carbon. Higher the electropositive character of that carbon, greater will be the reactivity of that carbon towards the nucleophilic attack. Okay. Now this electropositive nature of this carbon will depend on the group attached directly to it. Now see, here the nitrogen is directly attached to it, here oxygen, here also oxygen, and here chlorine. And not bad. The nitrogen is very less electronegative than oxygen or chlorine. It means in that ground, this amide is going to be least reactive. This is the first case. Because it withdraws electrons very less, it will flow better, it will more better, and this is even more better. So most electronegative is chlorine. It means according to this factor, this carbon is going to be most electropositive, and this is going to be least electropositive. And greater than negative positive charge over here, obviously this nucleophile attack will be easier. Okay, this is the first factor. Second factor is, now what is the second factor? Second factor is that, see, in the amides, there is a lone pair of electron. This is nitrogen, and nitrogen has a lone pair of electron over here. And this lone pair of electron can go like that. So this amide can exist into a resonating form, that is what? RCO minus double bond and H2 like that. This is a second resonating form of this amide. It means this carbon has some double bond character in amides. But such characteristic and if this carbon has a second bond characteristic, double bond character over here, it means this carbon is not so much electron efficient. It is electron efficient, and once it becomes electron efficient, the nucleophile is not going to attack here. Okay? Now see here, this oxygen can donate electron like that, but less than this nitrogen, because it is more electronegative. So such type of resonance is very less over in this ester molecule. And even in this acid anhydride, this one, and this is very least, because this is most electronegative. Now, see, so it means this amide will be least reactive. Now, what is the case of which would be what is the case of esters and anhydrides. In case of esters, the electron withdrawing nature is due to this oxygen atom, and here you know that this alkyl group is electron neutral. So this, it means the flow of electron from this carbon to this oxygen is little somewhat hindered by this alkyl group, which is going giving electron towards the oxygen atom. But see here, and this is electron flow like that. It means it is electron like that. So the flow of electron is from here to here in anhydrides. It means the electropositive character of this carbon is much more than this ester carbon. It means it is less reactive, and this is more. It is less reactive, and this will be more reactive. Now compare these two groups, anhydrides and acid chlorides. In anhydride and acid chlorides, we know that here the chlorine is more electronegative. It means it will attract electrons greater than the anhydride in the anhydride. The second factor, here it means this carbon becomes more electropositive than this carbon. Then acid chloride will be more reactive towards nucleophilic substitution, and further the resonance effect is less in this chlorine and it is more in this anhydride. So both the factors, that is the electropositive character and the resonance effect, making this acid chloride more reactive towards electrophilic substitution reaction. So this is the correction from the previous lecture. Okay. Now, but as we said into the previous lecture, when we were doing the acetylation of the any amines or phenols, we have taken anhydride, not taken the acid chlorides. I said acid chlorides are not preferred, and anhydrides are more preferred. We were taking anhydrides, not the acid chlorides. Why? Now what is the reason? As acid chlorides are more reactive, it means acid chlorides should be preferred over anhydrides, but we are preferring anhydrides in acetylation reaction. Now what would be the reason behind that? See, the reason is that anhydrides are easy to handle than acid chlorides. Acid chlorides are not easy to handle, they are highly fuming. Okay? So acid chlorides are not very easy to handle because they are fuming, highly fuming, but this anhydrides are easy to handle. This is the first one. And second thing, acid chlorides are very much corrosive in nature. They are less corrosive in nature. That's why anhydrides are preferred over acid chloride in acetylation reactions. Okay. Now coming on the benzylation reaction of amines or phenols, that is called Schotten-Roman reaction. Again, what we will see? See, either you take benzylation reaction or either you take the acetylation reaction. The course of reaction will be the same, the mechanism will be the same. Why the mechanism will be the same? See, I have taken acid chloride, that is I have simply RCOCl. This is the acid derivative, derivative of the carbonic acid. If this R becomes phenyl group over here, then it is called benzoyl chloride. PHCOCl, this is the acid derivative of benzoic acid. Okay, and if this R is CH3, that is CH3COCl, this is acetyl chloride. Now if this is CH3COCl, this is the acetylation of aniline, and if this is PHCOCl, this is the benzylation of aniline. Okay, see, here the NH2 is appears a nucleophile, and this is a electropositive carbon, I think over here, carrying nitrogen positive charge, and this proton will lost from here, and it will move from here to here. Now, in another case, this non-electron coming back, and chlorine is going at a leaving group. So this is nucleophilic attack onto the acid chloride, followed by leaving group, that is leaving group is Cl minus. So this is nucleophilic addition and then elimination, or simply we can say nucleophilic substitution reduction of acid chlorides. If this is pH group, this is called benzylation, and this is CH3 group, this is called acetylation. Now see here. Now Cl minus is a leaving group, and it becomes C double bond, which is a positive charge. Then Cl minus, which is we can act as a base, we can accept this proton, and releases as an HCl, and this is the product acetyl. If this is CHCl, this is called acetyl derivative or acyl derivative, and if this is pH group, this is called benzoyl derivative. So benzylation and acetylation is similar. Okay, now see this HCl. Actually, this benzylation, if we are doing benzylation reaction, see both the cases I am discussing. If we do the benzylation reaction, that is called Schotten-Baumann reaction. And what are the another reactor? That is aniline or phenol. So if we do the benzylation of aniline or phenol in the presence of sodium hydroxide, that is called Schotten-Baumann reaction. And if we do acetylation of this aniline or phenol, that is called acetylation reaction. Now, in benzylation reaction, we are taking sodium hydroxide as a base, mind it. Aqueous sodium hydroxide, that is 10% sodium hydroxide or 5% sodium hydroxide solution as a base here. Now base is there, this HCl is neutralized, which is released into the system, it is neutralized by NaOH, giving H2O plus NaCl. And NaCl is, it is a strong electrolyte, further ionized and it exists at Na plus and Cl minus sign. So in the reaction mixture, we will have this benzoylated derivative, and this is water and Cl minus sign in the system. Okay. Now see, if we do acetylation reaction, and in acetylation reaction, we are taking very mild bases, not that strong base. We have taken there sodium acetate, not sodium hydroxide. Now, what will be the reason behind that? Why we have taken sodium as sodium acetate, not sodium hydroxide, at that acetylation reaction? While in benzylation reaction, we are taking sodium hydroxide. That is because of neutralizing HCl. Now, first of all, why we are? What is the role of sodium hydroxide over here? See, this reaction will, for the formation of the amide, because this is the amide bond, you can see this is the amide, C1H. So this is the amide bond here. So for the formation of this amide molecule, the HCl must be removed from the system. Because if HCl remains in the system, it will hydrolyze this amide bond. Okay, so or it will propagate this amide. So the formation of the product will not take place simultaneously or will not take place smoothly. So for the smooth conduction of the reaction, we must neutralize HCl because the reaction must be performed in neutral medium or alkalinity alkaline medium. The medium of the reaction must be neutral or alkaline medium, not the acidic medium. Okay, so that's why we are taking NaOH to neutralize the HCl molecule so that the product formation will take place smoothly. Okay, now why? Now see, suppose this is an aniline molecule and you have a choice of reaction. One, I ask you that either you do benzylation or either you do acetylation. You have the choice. You have the reactive molecule NH2, and I am saying that react with acid chloride, any acid chloride. Now in saying acid chloride, you have two options. If you take benzoyl chloride, this will take, then you will do benzylation of this aniline, and if you take this acetyl chloride, then it is the acetylation of the aniline. Now why benzylation, and if we have the options, then what will we do? Actually, always benzylation is preferred over acetylation. Why we prefer benzylation over acetylation? There are some reasons behind that. First reason is that this acetic anhydride, because for acetylation reaction we use either acetyl chloride or acetic anhydride molecule. And both acetic anhydride as well as the acetyl chloride are radially hydrolyzed by water. They undergo water hydrolysis. So the formation of the product, smooth conduction of the reaction or the formation of product will not be so easy than the benzylation, because the benzoyl chloride is not going to be hydrolyzed in water. That's why in benzylation reaction we are taking aqueous medium, we are taking aqueous sodium hydroxide, but in acetylation reaction we avoid the use of water. Why we avoid the use of water? Because this anhydride or this acid chloride undergo hydrolysis by water. And second thing, the benzoyl derivative which is less soluble into the solvents in which the reaction is performed. Okay. However, the acetyl derivatives are highly soluble in the, this is soluble in ethanol. If you dissolve it in ethanol and heat it, it will dissolve in the ethanol, even in ethanol. So the acetyl derivatives have higher solubility than the benzoyl derivatives. So benzoyl derivatives have less solubility. That's why we take the product, the yield of the product will be higher, because the benzoyl derivative is not going to be solubilized or will not going to be soluble in the solvent. Okay, but this acetyl derivative is somewhat more soluble than benzoyl derivative in any solvent. So due to less solubility in solvents and it is not hydrolyzed by water, we prefer benzylation reaction rather than acetylation reaction. See, now what will be the mechanism of the reaction? This is the mechanism of the reaction I have written over here. Now, if I give you some examples of starting materials, then you can design your own mechanism. How? If I will give you aniline and give you benzoyl chloride, you will write here HCl, and this is aniline. This is in the presence of the base. This is the force of the reaction. If I give you this anisodine molecule, anisodine is an S2 and into the ring ortho-meta position CH3OH. If this is ortho position, it is called ortho-anisodine. If this is at para position, this is called para-anisodine. And if this OCH3 is at meta position, this is called meta-anisodine. And this is toluene, aniline and CH3 group. So ortho position, this is called ortho-toluene. This is para and this is meta-toluene. Okay. Then these are the phenols. This is beta-naphthol and this is trisols. Trisols are again is a methyl group into the ring. Ortho, meta and para, trisols, and this is the beta-naphthol. So you can easily write mechanism. If this is a phenol, then the nucleophile is over a phenol. Now this NH2, this is OH, react as a nucleophile, will act as a nucleophile. This is crisol and this is the nucleophile. Now see, we have these reactants. Now first of all, we will take these reactants. This is the aniline or aniline derivation. Okay. So this is aniline, simple aniline, and this is the OCH group here, and this is the CH group here. Now if you have an option, if you have a choice to do benzonation of any one of these three, so which will be the better reactant for you? Obviously, this aniline molecule, this NH2 group is acting as a nucleophile. Nucleophile means here the nitrogen must have electron density, much more electron density as this nitrogen. Now, how will be the electron density will be increased over here? If we add an electron donating group into the ring, it will become, the electron density with that nitrogen atom will somewhat higher. Okay. So this anisodine molecule or toluene molecule is better nucleophile than this aniline molecule. And see, same cases here. This is phenol. This is and this is crisol molecule, so which is more electroreactive. This has a CH3 group, but it is less linear. So this is more the molecule which have more electron density over here, which will be better nucleophile here. Okay. Now, one more thing, if I take this orthophenol, this is 2-naphthol or beta-naphthol, and this is 1-naphthol or alpha-naphthol molecule. Okay, so this is one more phenol which can act as a nucleophile, but which will be better nucleophile? We have to answer that. Okay. Now, so this is all about the benzylation reaction, and which is called Sodium-Bromine reaction when under alkali conditions. Now, if I take simply this aniline molecule, it will give this product. This is called what? This is called benzylate or benzylanine, or simply called benzyl phenyl benzamide. This is phenyl group and this is benzamide. So this is the substitution at nitrogen. This is called phenyl phenyl benzamide, or this is called benzyl aniline, because this is the benzyl group, benzyl aniline, and this is called what? Benzamide molecule. And if I take this 2-naphthol, then this is what? It's actually ester, and esters are named alkyl alkenoid. So this is the alkyl group, this is the naphthyl, and this is benzoate, named is naphthyl benzoate. Okay. Now, how will you perform this reaction into the laboratory? This is the discussion portion of the reaction. Now, what will be the course of the reaction and how you will perform this reaction in your laboratory? So, simply the reactants either will be a phenol or aniline, and you will take 1 gram of aniline or 1 gram of phenol into a iodine flask or conical flask. But the iodine flask or conical flask must be corked. Okay. So without cork, you will not perform that reaction. It must be corked. Okay. So you will take iodine flask or conical flask having a cork, and that iodine flask or conical flask you will add 1 gram of phenol or 1 gram of aniline. Okay. And into that you will add 15 ml of 10% sodium hydroxide solution. What will do? Then after adding into the conical flask or this iodine flask 1 gram of aniline or this phenol, you will add 15 ml of 10% sodium hydroxide solution. Then cork it and shake it. So if you take this aniline, so aniline is a base. By adding in the basic medium, there will be separate layers. But if this is phenol, we know that phenols are acidic in nature. So this phenol is going to be dissolved in this sodium hydroxide and converted into the phenoxide. And we know that the phenoxide is better nucleophile than the phenol itself. So it will react more easily than the respective phenol. And so it will dissolve into the reaction medium. Okay, that is sodium hydroxide solution. So if you take phenol, it will convert into the phenoxide and it will dissolve. And if it is aniline, then it is not going to be dissolved. Okay. And after adding after adding this 10%, 15 ml of 10% sodium hydroxide solution, then you will add 2 ml of benzoate. 1.5 to 2 ml. Take 1.5 to measure into a test tube, or measuring cylinder by 1.5 or 5 ml to 2 ml of this benzoyl chloride, and add lot wise, not at a time, in a 2 or 3 times. I add small amount from this measuring cylinder, a small amount of this benzoyl chloride into the reaction mixture, and then cork it and then shake it vigorously. And remember that this shaking will be very vigorous. If you don't shake it, then the compound is not going to form. The benzoyl chloride is trapped over there. So for the course of the reaction, for the reaction to occur, the shaking must be vigorous. Okay, if you shake it vigorously, and after some time you will add second lot, that is about 1.5 to 2 ml of benzoyl chloride. So you will add this benzoyl chloride, that is 1.5 to 2 ml in 2 lots. First of all, you will add half an hour. So if you have taken 2 ml, then add around 1 ml first, and shake it around 5 to 6 minutes. Then add another 1 ml, and then shake it for around 15 to 20 minutes. So after shaking of 15 to 20 minutes, vigorous shaking, and if the flask becomes so much hot, then you can cool it under tap water or into ice bath from outside, and then shake it. After 15 or 20 minutes of shaking, you will get a solid product. Filter that solid and wash it through water. Properly wash it, because there will be some excess, because we are using benzoyl chloride in excess amount, because we are our limiting reagent is aniline or phenol, so we are using this benzoyl chloride in excess amount. So filter it, wash it, and after washing, washing should be like that. There will be no smell of benzoyl chloride into the reaction. So wash with cold water and then dry it, and after drying it, take the weight of that compound, and this is your practical yield or observed yield. Okay, and then recrystallize it. Now I am saying that the solubility of this benzoyl derivative was not so much. So the recrystallization is the crystal formation is not so easily of these benzoyl derivatives. So take so the crystallization is, so you take some amount of the compound and add in ethanol and boil it. If it dissolve, okay. If it not dissolve, a small portion will dissolve. Then filter it, and the dissolved portion, the mineral liquor, take the mineral liquor for some time. And if there are any crystals are there, then take the melting point of the earth. If nearly no crystallization occurs, the compound which you have filtered, turn through it and take the melting point of that compound. And if it is pure, the melting point is coming will come from there. Okay. Now this is the crystallization of the compound. Then take melting point, and after taking this melting point, this is the characterization of the compound. This is necessary for the characterization of the compound. Now finally, how will you report the results? And for reporting the result, obviously you need structure of the product. This is the structure of the product, and name of the product. Okay, melting point of the product. There are two melting points. That is observed melting point. That is the practical melting point which we record, and another that is the literature or already available melting point. You have to search from it in literature and then write this melting point over there and compare these two melting points. And then yield will be either that is your observed yield in grams, or that is practical yield, and then second one is percentage yield. Now how will you calculate the percentage yield? If you are taking this aniline molecule, this will be the limiting reagent. So calculate from this to this. If X, this is the gram molecular weight of aniline, if X gram of this aniline gives Y gram of this molecule. So you are using 1 gram of aniline, 1 gram of aniline will give Y upon X. And what will be the percentage yield? If we multiply it by 100, it is your percentage. Sorry, not this is not the percentage yield. So this is the observed theoretical yield. This will be the theoretical yield. If you X gram of this compound, this is the gram molecular weight of aniline. If X, so is X, if giving X, so this is the gram molecular weight of this molecule product, which is Y. So if X gram is giving Y gram, then 1 gram will give Y upon X gram. So this is the observed yield. This is the 100% yield or theoretical yield of the reaction. Now how will you calculate the percentage yield? I already told you that percentage yield is the practical yield or observed yield divided by theoretical yield. That is also called 100% yield. 100, that is your percentage yield. So this is all about the benzylation reaction. So in conclusion, benzylation reaction of amine or phenol is called a Schotten-Downman reaction, and if we take aniline as a model substrate, so aniline is react with this benzoyl chloride in the presence of sodium hydroxide and giving the product, that is PH and a COPH, which is called benzanilate or phenyl benzamide or benzoyl aniline. Not benzyl aniline, this is benzoyl aniline, because this group is benzoyl group, this is benzoyl aniline.